So today we are going to discuss event-driven architecture, right? It's just a fancy word, event-driven. Okay. So first of all, before starting with the discussion of the event-driven architecture, most of the topics here, okay, is already discussed, right? And how it is getting used in a system, that probably we'll see with this event-driven architecture. Like in normal any of the applications, we have the design patterns, right? So whenever we develop a system, there are a few of the patterns. One of the most common pattern is the event-driven architecture. So for many of the systems, you want the system to be event-driven. So what exactly is event? Because this system is driven by the event. So what exactly is event here? So event can be any of the state change, any of the information. So state change can be, let's suppose I have ordered something, right? So this can be one of the state change, right? The probably order confirmed status. If order is delivered, so the state can change to delivered. If probably I have cancelled that order, so the order status will change to cancelled, right? So these all are state of that order, right? And whenever there is a state change, it is called a event. The other can be, let's suppose what kind of other events there, right? So probably you dump a file, right? You put a file, okay, in a file storage. Okay, this can be one of the event, right? Putting a file in a file storage. Or the event can be any of the information, right? Even in the database, if you insert a row, probably you can call it to be an event, right? So event can be any of the information of your interest, right? Whether it's a state change, whether it's the some kind of a file that you are putting in, or some kind of a record that you are putting in a database. All these things can comply to be an event, right? And as a user, right, probably there will be multiple systems, right? In a microservice architecture, there will be multiple services. So there will be few of the services which are publishing some kind of information, and there will be services which are going to rely on that particular information, right? So these can be called as the publisher of those events, and these are called as the subscriber of those events, right? Or these systems, we can say, to be get impacted by the events that is published by few of the systems, right? So with this discussion, can you guys relate any of the in the past whatever we have learned, which is the famous thing that we have for this particular architecture? What was the most uh, convenient thing that we have used that we can use in this kind of architecture? SQS. Yes, SQS can be one where there were producer, it was producing the message, right? And there were consumers which was consuming this message, right? Now let's suppose we'll start with this particular use case only with the SQS. So we have seen the use case, right? Kinesis, right? Kinesis is also similar. Okay. Okay. Now you place an order, right? So order gets confirmed. Okay. Or the similar example that we were taking from the past, it's the bill payment, right? So you have paid to, let's suppose, Paytm. Okay. You have made the payment. You have made the payment, but recharge is awaiting, right? So the state is now changing from payment confirmed, right? State is now changed to payment confirmed. And based upon this state change, what needs to happen? You need to trigger some kind of mechanism to fulfill that recharge, right? Fulfillment, right? This particular system can make fulfillment system, and this needs to be exactly aware about this payment information or the payment state change. Now what is happening? Currently there is a single service that is for the fulfillment, right? Now there is a other system, okay, that needs to monitor all the recharges that are happening to a system, or how many payments are done in the last 1 minute, right? So there is a centralized service which needs to show the monitor for how many users are paying, or how many users have made a bill payment in the last hour, or a running dashboard kind of a thing, right? That also needs to rely on this particular information. The payment is completed event, right? Yes or no? In the SQS based model, it was difficult, right? Because these particular consumers were deleting the message from the queue, right? Or yes or no? In the SQS based model, where we had a queue, the consumers were deleting that message from the queue. Let's suppose this is a fulfillment system, okay? And this is a payment system or a order system, okay? So after the order confirmation, it has put in this queue. The fulfillment has picked that particular entry from that queue and has deleted, right? So if I want to bring a new service for the recharge it won't be, for the monitor and dashboard, it won't be possible with this SQS model, right? Yes or no? So for that, we may go to the next use case that someone mentioned, Kinesis, right? So Kinesis is a dog-based retention kind of a thing where there can be multiple subscriber group or the multiple consumer group, and they can read from there, right? So we can imagine it like this. We have multiple producers, right? And this where, let's suppose, our event bus, okay? Or probably event system, right? Event system, and the producers are producing to it, and the consumers can be notified, or they need to be just aware what all entry came in this, and they just need to take care of the event, right? And now in this also there can be segregation based upon the event types, right? Probably this is a mobile recharge event, okay, bill payment, and some other kind of, right? So not necessarily all the systems need to rely on all the messages, right? So the consumers can take the wise decision what all notification they are interested in, right? So the consumer will be processing only those notifications that they are interested in, and the producer is irrespective of how many consumers are there and how they are processing. They are just now worried about we just need to publish this event in this event bus, and whoever is want to consume that particular event, they can directly got that event from that event bus or the Kinesis, to be precise in this particular case. And there can be a number of other things that can be configured for this particular stuff, right? Now we have already seen why, and this is similar to async processing, right? So these all cases were for the async processing. So the event driven architecture is mostly async in nature, okay, and they just need to rely on some kind of mechanism where there will be a central place, or there can be multiple places to publish that notification, and based upon that interest, consumers will be reading from that, right? Now we can see one of the architecture. This was all about the recharge and the fulfillment, right? Now there can be one of the event where let's suppose you have an image site, okay, image site website, okay, image website. The job here is whenever the user will upload an image, okay, let's suppose user upload the JPG, right? And you need to convert it to probably you can imagine it to be a like the website like the this one, JPG to PDF converter. All have seen this kind of website, right? Which takes one of the file format, converts to other file format, right? JPG to PDF converter, right? Now you need to design a system, right, which will accept the JPG and it will return a PDF. And maybe this particular processing can take, let's suppose 20 seconds. I'm just taking a rough number. Let's suppose this JPG to PDF conversion takes 20 seconds, right? Now in reality it can take way less than that particular time, and probably it can be a sync operation. But in a normal cases, if it is used to take 20 seconds, will you allow your user to wait for that for 20 seconds just to get a response, or probably the user can do some other step till that time? What do you think will be the right behavior in this case? User comes to your website, upload that JPG. Okay, yeah, async comprehension, like user will upload that JPG. Okay, you will say your file is getting converted. Okay, probably it will take 20 seconds. You can share some kind of a progress bar just to increase the user experience, and user is allowed to do anything. And after that particular file is ready, he can view that in his uploads, or probably you can send some kind of a notification, right? So now as soon as the user just uploads this JPG file, right? So you will put this particular thing in some kind of a storage, right? File storage. And as this is a file storage, okay, you have put that particular file in that, and now can it be treated as one of the event, right? Putting a file is also can be one of the events. So based upon this event, you can trigger any of your service, okay, or you can notify any of your servers to get executed, okay, and they will be able to pick that file from here, convert that file, okay, and send that file to either that particular service or upload in some other bucket, and this can again trigger a notification, right? Yes or no? इसमें क्या हुआ, ठीक है, कि सबसे पहले तुमने फाइल स्टोरेज में डाला, ठीक है. देयर कैन बी टू अप्रोचेस हियर, राइट? वन अप्रोच कैन बी योर सर्विस इज कंटिन्यूअसली पुलिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर बकेट कि hey, do you have any new files? Yes or no? ठीक है. If it says yes, I have a file, I'll process that file and put in another bucket. The other approach can be, I'm not continuously polling you. Whenever you have any of the files with you, just send me a notification, okay, and I'll be aware कि ठीक है, there is a new file that got published in that bucket. You just need to come fetch this file from here, convert that and put it here, right? So in the first approach, it was more asking every time, and then the second approach, it was more notifying kind of a stuff, right? So notifying kind of a stuff is more towards the notification system, right? The SNS kind of a use case, and asking every time is kind of a consumer based use cases, like where you are consuming something, you are continuously polling and consuming whatever resources is available there, right? So in event driven architecture as well, there can be two types. One is the polling, the other can be notifying. See, these all topics are almost already covered, right? But just because this is one of a pattern in the system design, and I wanted you guys to be aware that this is not a very hard and fast and a fancy word. This is just whatever we have already studied, right? So most of the things are similar in nature, right? So any problem till now with whatever the events that we have seen? ये यूज केस क्लियर था कि अभी जितने भी इवेंट्स थे, राइट? दोज इवेंट्स वर क्लियर. So many a times in system designs, the people say कि I want an event driven architecture, right? I want an event driven architecture. They use this fancy word called event driven architecture. So event driven architecture in the name looks fancy, okay? But in real ground, it's something like whenever you have an event, you need to do some kind of a processing, right? Most of the things we have already seen, like where the event will be published, right? We have already seen SQS, we have already seen SNS, we have already seen Kinesis, we have already seen Kafka, right? So these are the places where the event is produced or the event is stored. There will be producer, okay, and there will be consumers. Now let's talk about this consumer part, how this consumer can be configured and what kind of a consumers we can have, right? So a typical consumer, right? A typical consumer can be, you can run a virtual machine, right? A VMs. So virtual machine is nothing but you can imagine it to be any of the computer or any of the server, okay, which have some RAM, memory, some probably the OS, right? And it can execute any of the job. Your laptop can do any of the job, right? Whether it is reading from a queue, whether it is playing games, whether it is watching videos, anything, right? So these VMs are also a general purpose servers who can do any of the operations, right? Now, these VMs can be configured to read the notification either on a probably consuming side or getting notified, right? So these can be done by a virtual machines, right? In AWS, we have a called EC2, Elastic Compute, I guess. Elastic Cloud Compute. Cloud Compute is the name. So EC2 is nothing but virtual machines, right? That you can configure to receive any of the notification, or probably you can deploy your own application who will get that notification. Any questions till now? Okay. So EC2s were okay. So EC2 were general services, general virtual machines where you can deploy your own application, and those applications can be configured to receive any of the notification, any of the information, or they can consume on the polling side. They can consume those events. Now, apart from EC2, there are multiple other services as well, right? And one of the most interesting service, okay, is Lambda. And this is one of the service, matlab, I don't think any of the service is as useful as this service. Okay, I am a big fan of this Lambda service, right? So we'll talk about what is Lambda and how we can plug this in the event-driven architecture, right? So with a EC2, you need to procure a host, right? So procure a host means saying AWS, hey, give me a host, right? Give me a virtual machine, okay? And you need to configure, let's suppose you want a 4 GB RAM, right? You want okay, इसको एक एग्जांपल से समझते हैं, ठीक है? You want to play some games, right? You want to play game, right? तो तुमको अभी खेलना है, let's suppose कि Fortnite, right? Fortnite खेलना था, ठीक है, गेम के लिए. So one of the approach is you go to the shop, ठीक है, and say कि मेरे पास अभी कुछ है नहीं, तो I'll just buy a laptop, right? So laptop can cost anywhere from, let's suppose, 40K to 2 lakh, 3 lakh kind of a thing, right? You need to choose the right hardware, which kind of what kind of a RAM you will choose, ठीक है? What kind of a graphics card you will choose, what memory of the graphics card you will choose, right? And whether it will be i3, i5, i7, or some other kind of a configuration, right? So you need to decide these all things, right, based upon your requirement. And probably even 4 GB RAM can, let's suppose, support Fortnite. 4 GB plus, let's suppose, 1 GB graphics card. Even 8 GB plus 1 GB graphics card can support Fortnite. So how you will decide which is the best for you, right? Is it going to be a difficult choice to decide the exact hardware that will be required for that particular stuff? अभी तुम्हारा काम था तुमको सिर्फ गेम खेलना है, वो जो लैपटॉप खरीदना है उसका सिर्फ यूज है, यू नीड टू प्ले फोर्टनाइट गेम, राइट? सो ऑल दिस लैपटॉप दिस गेम विल रन, राइट? 4 GB प्लस 1 GB पे भी चलेगा, 8 GB प्लस 1 GB पे भी चलेगा. So which exact device or which exact laptop you will buy is going to be a tough choice, yes or no? डिसाइड करना है कि कौन सा लैपटॉप खरीदना है, ठीक है? तो उसमें बहुत सारी चीज कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा, राइट? कि प्रोबेबली मेरे लिए राइट यूज केस है कि नहीं है, उसका कितना साइज लेना है, कितना रैम लेना है, कौन सा ग्राफिक्स कार्ड खरीदना है, ये सारी चीजें इट विल बी अ क्वेश्चन, राइट, दैट यू नीड टू आंसर. एंड प्रोबेबली इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज यू विल बी गिविंग द राइट आंसर. हो सकता है तुम नहीं डिसाइड कर पाओ कि 4 GB रैम की 8 GB रैम, राइट? ये क्लियर है? एंड व्हाई आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस, आई विल कम टू दिस पॉइंट, बट इतना समझो, ठीक है? एंड इसी से आई डिराइव कि व्हाई वी प्रेफर लैम्डा, या वो लैम्डा क्या करता है इसलिए, ठीक है? The second approach can be you just go to a game parlor, ठीक है, where there are multiple CPUs already there, ठीक है, multiple computers are already there. You sit for, let's suppose, couple of hours, you play game, you come back, right? तुमने let's suppose 100 rupees पे किया per hour and you were okay with this, right? एक दिन में let's suppose तुम 4 घंटे 8 घंटे गेम खेलते हो, you have paid 500 rupees per day and you are happy. और लैपटॉप खरीदने जाते तो let's suppose you would have paid 1 lakh kind of a thing, right? But let's suppose in a day, if you want to play, let's suppose 20 hours, right? अगर मैं एक दिन में 20 hours गेम खेल रहा हूँ, ठीक है, so probably एक दिन का मेरा कॉस्ट कितना है? 2000, right? In 50 days I'll recover the cost of that particular laptop, right? So अगर मैं दिन में 20 घंटे गेम खेलूंगा, so what do you think would be the right decision for me? बाइंग अ लैपटॉप और गोइंग टू द गेम पार्लर एंड प्लेइंग द गेम? कौन सा ज्यादा अच्छा होगा? अगर मैं 20 घंटे डेली गेम खेल रहा हूँ तो कौन सा पार्ट बेटर है, लैपटॉप खरीदना या फिर गेमिंग पार्लर में जाके 20 घंटे गेम खेलना डेली? ये एग्जाम्पल क्लियर हुआ क्या है? कोई एक तो बोलो, एग्जाम्पल क्लियर है कि नहीं, कि मैं क्या एक्सप्लेन करना चाह रहा था इस एग्जाम्पल में? सो बाइंग अ लैपटॉप, राइट। बट अगर वही काम, ठीक है, दिन में अगर मैं सिर्फ 1 आवर गेम खेलता हूँ, सो व्हाट आई प्रिफर गोइंग टू द कैफे एंड प्लेइंग द गेम्स, राइट? आई विल नॉट रिलाई ऑन बाइंग अ लैपटॉप, क्योंकि वो बहुत कॉस्टली हो जाएगा। गेम पार्लर, राइट, एग्जैक्टली। दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट थॉट प्रोसेस बिहाइंड चूजिंग लैम्डा एज अ सब, ठीक है। Yeah. ठीक है, सो एग्जैक्टली सेम प्रॉब्लम विल सी है, ठीक है। पहला प्रॉब्लम क्या था बाइंग लैपटॉप में? यू नीड टू डिसाइड ऑन द राइट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, राइट, कि कौन सा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन तुम्हारे लिए फिट होगा। एग्जैक्टली, while taking a EC2 or a virtual machines, you need to decide what kind of RAM you will need, मतलब कितने अमाउंट का रैम चाहिए तुमको, ठीक है, कैपेसिटी क्या चाहिए स्टोरेज की, ठीक है। एंड इन EC2 ओनली, ठीक है, देयर आर एटलीस्ट 7 or 8 टाइप्स ऑफ कॉस्ट हार्डवेयर कॉन्फ़िग, राइट, एग्जैक्टली। 7-8 टाइप के तो EC2 इंस्टेंस है। कोई रैम इंटेंसिव है, देर इज आर सीरीज विच इज अ रैम इंटेंसिव, this is a C series which is a compute intensive, this is a M series that is a general purpose, and there will be other series as well, there is a T series I guess, हाँ T series which is very famous, right? So ऐसे बहुत सारे series of the EC2 है। तो सिर्फ ये भी आंसर करने से कि रैम मुझे 4 GB चाहिए, स्टोरेज मुझे 10 GB का चाहिए, दिस itself will not be sufficient, right? There are still chances that you are wasting your resources, either तुमने ओवर परचेज कर लिया है या तुमने कम परचेज किया है एंड यू आर प्रोबेबली नीड टू स्केल अप फर्दर, राइट? तो देयर आर हाई चांसेस कि तुम राइट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं परचेज करोगे, सो दिस कैन बी वन ऑफ द रीजंस बिहाइंड नॉट चूजिंग EC2, राइट? द अदर कैन बी, अब तुमको जब वो लैपटॉप आ गया, राइट, तो लैपटॉप में तुमको अब क्या करना पड़ेगा? यू नीड टू इंस्टॉल दैट फोर्टनाइट गेम, राइट? अगर ओएस ले सपोज में पहले से है तब भी यू नीड टू इंस्टॉल फोर्टनाइट, ड्राइवर्स चाहिए और जो भी स्टफ है वो सब चाहिए, राइट? सो यू नीड टू राइट योर ओन सर्विस, डिप्लॉय एवरीथिंग, राइट? यू नीड टू मैनेज। ये पॉइंट क्लियर है? लैपटॉप खरीदते वी नीड टू इंस्टॉल द फोर्टनाइट गेम, वी नीड टू डू इंस्टॉल द ड्राइवर, बट अगर गेम पार्लर में जाते तो एवरीथिंग इज ऑलरेडी रेडी, राइट? सीधे जाना है, प्लग एंड प्ले है, सीधे वहां बैठे और गेम खेलना स्टार्ट कर दिया, राइट? सो दिस सर्विस मैनेजमेंट, उसका डिप्लॉय सर्विस लिखना, वो सब विल बी एन एडिशनल थिंग, राइट? एंड द थर्ड थिंग कैन बी डेफिनेटली द कॉस्ट। एंड कॉस्ट क्यों आता है? बिकॉज मे बी मेरी सर्विस उतनी यूटिलाइज नहीं हो रही है, राइट? So to solve all this purpose, or after seeing this all drawbacks, uh, this serverless concept came up, right? And most of the service you will see, ठीक है, in real use cases, देखो अगर मैं हाई बैंडविड्थ वाले सर्विस जो कि बहुत हाई टीपीएस पर ऑपरेट करते हैं, अगर मैं उसकी बात ना करूं, ठीक है, देयर आर नॉर्मल सर्विसेज जिसमें लेट्स सपोज तुमने कोई वेबसाइट स्टार्ट किया, राइट? तुमने कोई टेस्टिंग के लिए एपीआई लिखनी है, so probably it will hardly take 1 TPS, 2 TPS, 5 TPS kind of a request, right? So for those things, deciding the EC2 instance, deploying the services, these all things can become a troublesome, right? So for that, Lambda comes to help, okay? Lambda. So Lambda says, you don't need to provision any of the resource. Need to provision any of the resource. तो लैम्डा का कहना है, यू डोंट नीड टू प्रोविजन एनी ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज अपफ्रंट, ठीक है, आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ एवरीथिंग। सेकंड, EC2 में तुमको सर्विस लिखनी पड़ती, सर्विस डिप्लॉय करनी पड़ती, राइट? इन लैम्डा एज वेल यू नीड टू राइट सम कोड, ठीक है, डेफिनेटली कुछ तो कोड लिखना पड़ेगा जो एग्जीक्यूट होगा, राइट? तो इट इज स्टिल यहाँ पे तुमको कोड लिखना पड़ेगा, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द इंटरेक्शंस आर ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल। तो इंटरेक्शन क्या था कि अर्लियर यू नीड टू राइट द कोड फॉर receiving the notification from let's suppose your queue, right? SQS हो जाए, SNS हो जाए, उन सारे से तुमको कोड लिखना पड़ता है, उससे कैसे रिसीव करना है उसके लिए। इन दिस लैम्डा it is already configured. Lambda can be configured to receive the notification from any of the services like the SQS, SNS, Kinesis and whatsoever. मतलब इतने सारे सर्विसेज के साथ लैम्डा का नेटिव इंटीग्रेशन है, ठीक है। तो वहां पे भी तुम्हारा ऑलरेडी बहुत सारा एफर्ट बचता है कोड लिखने में। योर सर्विस कैन बी अप एंड रनिंग इन विद इन 5 मिनट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग, ठीक है। द थर्ड थिंग, और क्या प्रॉब्लम था? कॉस्ट, राइट। सो कॉस्ट में दो चीज थी। व्हेन द गेमिंग पार्लर वाज कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव, जब मेरे पास कम आवर्स में प्ले कर रहा था गेम, राइट। द गेमिंग पार्लर वाज इफेक्टिव व्हेन आई वाज प्लेइंग फॉर अ आवर और टू, राइट। बट द लैपटॉप बिकेम मतलब लैपटॉप सही डिसीजन था व्हेन प्रोबेबली आई एम प्लेइंग फॉर 20 आवर्स और समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट। सो फॉर अ सर्विस व्हिच इज नॉट फ्रीक्वेंटली रिसीविंग ट्रैफिक, ठीक है। सो लेट्स सपोज ऐसा होता है कि एक घंटे में तुम्हारे पास लेट्स सपोज 10 रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है, काइंड ऑफ लाइक दिस, राइट। सो अगर इफ यू प्रोविजन इनफ इवन अ वेरी स्मॉल होस्ट, स्टिल यू आर गोइंग टू पे फॉर दिस, राइट। बट लैम्डा सेज कि ठीक है 10 रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है, सिर्फ तुम 10 के लिए ही मुझे पैसा दोगे, ठीक है। सो द कॉस्ट वाइज ऑल्सो लैम्डा कैन बी वेरी इफेक्टिव इफ द ट्रैफिक इज लेस एंड लैम्डा इज हाईली स्केलेबल, ठीक है। हाईली स्केलेबल एज वेल, राइट। हाईली स्केलेबल का मतलब है कि जैसे ट्रैफिक बढ़ना स्टार्ट होगा, लैम्डा कैन मतलब लैम्डा अपने आप को स्केल कर सकता है, ठीक है। इट्स नॉट लाइक कि सिर्फ कम ट्रैफिक में ही चलेगा। द लैम्डाज आर अलाउड टू 1000 concurrent रिक्वेस्ट, मतलब 1000 लैम्डा का कंकरेंट इंस्टेंसेस रन हो सकता है। ये वाला पॉइंट क्लियर हुआ कि किस केसेस में मतलब लैम्डा का एडवांटेज क्या है EC2 के ऊपर। विद द एग्जांपल फ्रॉम दैट वी सॉ, राइट, लैपटॉप और गेम पार्लर वाला जो एग्जांपल था उससे रिलेट करके ये वाला यूज केस क्लियर है टिल हियर, लैम्डा का एडवांटेज।
One question, Ravi. You said we can easily configure Lambda with SQS, SNS, Kinesis like service. So
Yeah.
what if we have an external service or different service that is made by our
यस,
own?
ओके,
So
ठीक है, उस पे भी आते हैं, ठीक है। लैम्डा में लेट्स सपोज देखो कोई भी सर्विस है, राइट। सो यू नीड टू इन्वोक सम एंड पॉइंट, राइट। सो यू कैन कॉन्फ़िगर अ API गेटवे, ठीक है। ये तुम्हारा लैम्डा है, ओके। यू कैन कॉन्फ़िगर API गेटवे, ट्रीट इट एज अ एक्सटर्नल इंटरफेस, ठीक है, फॉर योर सर्विस। इसके साथ नेटिव इंटीग्रेशन रहेगा लैम्डा का। एज सुन एज योर रिक्वेस्ट विल हिट दिस पर्टिकुलर API गेटवे, दिस रिक्वेस्ट विल बी फॉरवर्डेड टू लैम्डा। इसका सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल है, ठीक है, अगर तुमको लेट्स सपोज टेस्टिंग के लिए कोई एक सर्विस बनानी है, ठीक है। टेस्टिंग के लिए तुमको कोई API रन करना है, या तुम्हारा दोस्त बोलता है कि एक API को प्रोड में डिप्लॉय करके दिखाओ। नॉर्मल केसेस में, ठीक है, इफ यू प्रोविजन एटलीस्ट इट विल टेक 20 to 25 मिनट्स टू डू अ जॉब, ठीक है। वही इफ यू यूज लैम्डा probably you can configure in less than 5 मिनट। तुमको एक API गेटवे बनाना है जिसमें एक एंड पॉइंट ऑटोमेटिक कॉन्फ़िगर होगा। जस्ट यू नीड टू राइट कि API गेटवे कहाँ रिस्पॉन्स भेजेगा, तो लैम्डा पे। लैम्डा पे उसके एडिटर में यू कैन राइट डाउन द कोड इन देन एंड देयर एज वेल। 4 लाइन का कोड, probably it can return a response. Your API will be up and running in within a few minutes. And if your lambda gets complex, probably you need to use certain kind of a library. तब तुमको probably code deploy kind of a चीज करना पड़ सकता है, जो EC2 में तुमको किसी भी हाल में करना ही पड़ेगा, right? So now on which cases will prefer, ये तो हमने देख लिया कि lambda क्यों prefer था, right? So in which cases EC2 will be preferred? When I know, ठीक है, when I know कि my service is going to receive a continuous traffic. Let's suppose 5 TPS का जो traffic है ये continuous traffic है, ठीक है। So in this particular case, write EC2 instance can help, ठीक है। We can choose any of the instance. Lambda भी काम करेगा. The cost also will not be so different, but EC2 can also help. Plus, जब मैंने बोला, ठीक है, कि EC2 has a lot of instance type, right? R series, C series, M series, right? तो उतने कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी भी आते हैं उनको चूज करने का। बट हम सेम आते हैं अपने गेमिंग वाले एग्जांपल पे, राइट। बट इफ आई एम अ हार्डकोर गेमर, ठीक है, आई नो कि एनवीडिया का ग्राफिक्स कार्ड अच्छा होगा कि लेट्स सपोज AMD या रेडियन अगर बनाती होगी तो उसका ग्राफिक्स कार्ड अच्छा है, राइट। इफ आई एम अ गेमर आई नो दिस थिंग्स, राइट। मेरे लिए वन प्लस का फोन अच्छा है या जिनका जो ROG फोन आता है वो अच्छा है, राइट? एज अ गेमर आई नो दिस स्टफ, राइट? आई हैव फेल्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टफ. So those who are very experienced, ठीक है, they can choose the right instance type, they can choose the right configuration, and with the right traffic, EC2 can work well lambda की जगह पर, right? Probably I can, अगर मेरा compute heavy है तो I can choose a C instance. अगर मेरा काम RAM heavy होने वाला था, probably I can choose a R instance. और अगर general purpose काम है तो probably I can choose a M type of instance, right? So EC2 gives a मतलब ज्यादा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करने के लिए इट नीड्स टू इट अलाउज यू. एंड लैम्डा क्या करता है? इट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट मेनी अदर थिंग्स फ्रॉम यू. सो जो बेसिक यूज केस हैं, जो बिगनर्स हैं, जिनको अच्छा लगता है कुछ अप एंड रनिंग करना, उनके लिए लैम्डा इज वे 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 बेटर, ठीक है. बट इफ समवन इज वेरी एक्सपीरियंस, they can do all those things with the EC2 as well or the virtual machines as well, right? लैम्डा में एक मेजर प्रॉब्लम है दैट आई विल टॉक अबाउट, ठीक है. उसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है कि लैम्डा जैसे मैंने किया कि AWS खुद ही मैनेज करता है, राइट, कि कितने इंस्टेंसेस रन करने थे. बट AWS, और मैंने ये भी बोला कि यू आर चार्ज बेस्ड अपॉन नंबर ऑफ रिक्वेस्ट, राइट? नाउ AWS इतना बेवकूफ तो नहीं है, और द क्लाउड प्रोवाइडर, हर क्लाउड प्रोवाइडर में कोई ना कोई सर्विस लेस होगा. आई एम अवेयर अबाउट AWS, इसलिए मैं लैम्डा की बात कर रहा हूँ. GCP, Azure, सब में कोई ना कोई सर्विस होगा, ठीक है. So these cloud providers are not so dumb, right? Why they are only charging you based upon this number of requests? And अगर तुम्हारा let's suppose दिन में एक request आ रहा है, right? So they won't deploy your services और उसको deploy करके नहीं रखे रहेंगे, right? कि तुम्हारे एक request के लिए. So lambda के साथ क्या होता है कि it's called hot and cold. तो hot and cold क्या होता है? When it is receiving a traffic, as soon as it receives a traffic, it becomes hot, ठीक है? And जब धीरे धीरे ट्रैफिक नहीं रहता है बहुत देर तक, so it becomes cold, right? So cold means कि probably after a certain time, ये time vary करता है, and after that certain time AWS can remove that particular resource, ठीक है. And whenever the next resource will come, request will come, it will reprovision that particular request. So this is a problem known as cold start time. So the first request that will come, ठीक है, lambda takes some time to the AWS takes some time to deploy that particular thing and make it available, right? So probably it can be few milliseconds to probably few seconds as well. So how we can solve that cold start problem? जैसे कि let's suppose first request आता है, ठीक है, and first request के लिए suppose कि 20 minutes के after AWS removes that particular configuration, right? Lambda को remove कर देता है. So what we can do? Probably after 10 minutes we can configure उसका automatic run हम लोग provision कर सकते हैं, right? 10 minute के interval पर, so that automatically it will hit in 10 minutes, so that it will be hot and running, right? And deploy time will be dependent as well, right? अब lambda है, so lambda में you can write complex code as well, right? So obviously if you use multi-trigger lambda periodically, yes, service will call itself. It can, you can configure the lambda to call after certain threshold as well. इसलिए मैंने बोला कि lambda में there is a मतलब lot of things are already pre-configured. You can configure lambda to run every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every day, every 2 days, or whatever you want. Let's suppose there is a daily you need to send out a mail, right? ऐसा कुछ करना है. मैं तुम्हारी एक सर्विस की बात करता हूँ. I guess we are already over by 6 minutes. 30 minutes, no activity, right? Exactly. Heroku also deprovisions. Heroku is, I guess, provide the free stuff as well, so they deprovision. अगर से उसका said if I take the मतलब cost वाला उसका, so in that case I guess it won't deprovision it. But अगर मैंने free वाला tier लिया है तो probably it will deprovision that. Correct. क्योंकि देखो cloud provider को भी पैसा कमाना है, so they need to be do some kind of a stuff, right? उसके लिए. ठीक है, I'll just take one example, ठीक है, and probably just जो question and answer 10 minutes था उसको इसमें क्लब करके रखते हैं, ठीक है, in 2-3 minutes I'll be done. एक सर्विस लेते हैं, let's suppose जिसका की काम डेली था send out a birthday reminder, right? हैप्पी बर्थडे विश करना है. सो मैंने क्या किया, let's suppose 10:50 को मैंने अपने डेटाबेस को रीड किया कि किसका किसका भी कल बर्थडे आने वाला है. आई गॉट द लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल दोस थिंग्स, ठीक है. मैंने अपने लैम्डा को कॉन्फ़िगर करके रखा है कि एग्जैक्टली एट 11:59 एग्जीक्यूट होना है पर डे 24 आवर्स के इंटरवल पे. फिच ऑल द पर्सन्स नेम जिसका बर्थडे कल है एंड सेंड आउट अ मेल और सेंड आउट अ SMS नोटिफिकेशन जिससे कि मैसेज या ईमेल को भी मैं पब्लिश कर सकता हूँ. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो इवेंट ड्रिवन आर्किटेक्चर. लैम्डा को तुमने कॉन्फ़िगर किया है 1 डे पे रन करने के लिए, राइट? ठीक है, एनी क्वेश्चंस? क्लियर था ये पॉइंट यहाँ तक? वाई लैम्डा, वाई C2, इवेंट ड्रिवन आर्किटेक्चर में क्या होता है? ठीक है, देखो, most of the components we have already seen, ठीक है, and few of the buzz topics that are remaining that we'll see eventually, ठीक है, and after this probably we'll